Game continues after the collapse of the City of Joburg's council last week. The multi-party coalition led by the DA is blaming the ANC and EFF for the disruption. Chaos ensued over secret ballots to elect committee chairs. The council sitting is expected to resume tomorrow following last week's postponement. Our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge is following this story for us. He joins us now live. So what are the coalition partners saying about last week's chaos and tomorrow's very crucial meeting?
They blame the ANC and the EFF for last week's chaos, but they are hopeful that tomorrow when the meeting resumes, it will not collapse. However, they are calling for more security to ensure that the meeting continues tomorrow. It was meant to be the first meeting of the council, the sitting of the council, and the business of the day last week, the agenda was really to elect those powerful chairpersons of various municipal committees. Now, that is very important simply because these are the people who perform oversight and who keep the executive into checks here. But last week that did not happen because there was a collapse of that meeting. At the center of the collapse of the meeting was the ANC and the EFF asking that voting be undertaken or be done in a secret ballot. On the other side, coalition partners were saying, well, hang on, there is no need for that to happen because the act and the law is clear that only the executive is elected through the secret ballot. When you elect the chairpersons of committees, there is no need for that. You can vote by a show of hands. And the EFF and the ANC were having none of that, saying, no, they want this to be done in a secret ballot. And the meeting collapsed. It was meant to start at 10 a.m., but up until 5 p.m., it had not started. It ended up collapsing. So coalition partners led by the DA here, including the Freedom Front Plus, the ACDP, the Patriotic Alliance, COPE as well as the IFP, are saying come tomorrow, they will ensure that the meeting continues. And they accuse the ANC and the EFF of playing politics, and they have appealed to both political parties to say they must follow their political conscience and ensure that they prioritize the electorate, the people who voted for them to come and represent them here at the Johannesburg City Council. Let's take a listen to the member of the ACDP explaining.
So I make an appeal to them today. Think of the people that we represent. Think of the suffering of our people. Think of the challenges. Because as a coalition government, we want to go out there and hit the ground running. We want to begin to alleviate and change the plight and economic and material conditions of our people.
Sipa, there's also calls for President Cyril Ramaphosa to actually intervene by addressing ANC members in the city of Joburg. Who's making that call and why?
It's the coalition partners, but this time around the leader of the Freedom Front Plus, Dr. Pieter Groenewald, is the one who's leading this call, making this call to President Cyril Ramaphosa to say now that ANC members in the city of Johannesburg appear to be hell-bent on collapsing the council meetings. He's asking for him to intervene simply because President Cyril Ramaphosa has been urging political parties to work together where there is that stalemate and their coalition agreements in place. So the leader of the Freedom Front Plus is making that call to President Cyril Ramaphosa to say it appears that the leaders of the ANC here in the Johannesburg region and in the Johannesburg City Council are not willing to work with other political parties. In fact, he says it appears that they are not willing to accept the democratic outcome of the elections process, which ensured that the ANC, after the formation of the coalition government, remains on the opposition benches, in the opposition benches. He says, well, they have not accepted that, and come 2024, should there be a coalition government at a national level and provincial levels, it does appear that, according to them, they don't think that the ANC will let go of power. Hence, they are appealing to their party's president to say he must intervene. Let's take a listen.
The governing party that is not willing to hand over power and respect it. And it is so ironically that the president in his weekly paper or message is appealing to the people of South Africa and everyone to uphold, to protect and preserve the constitutional democracy of South Africa. But his own members in the City of Council, they don't do that. And I appeal this day, today, to the Honourable President Cyril Ramaphosa, that he must intervene immediately before tomorrow and ensure that their members respect the democracy. And if he doesn't do that, he's nothing else than a hypocrite.
And for context, tell us, why do these highly contested chair positions matter that much?
They are powerful positions because, remember, the municipality would have the executive, and therefore you would need these committees and their chairpersons to keep the executive in check, to ensure that there is oversight. Whatever happens in the municipality, you will have the executive, you will have your MMCs who will perform various tasks here, be it transport, human settlements, electricity, water, infrastructure. Whatever happens in various portfolios of the council, you will still need to have people playing an oversight role to ensure that they keep those who are elected in checks, to ensure that they do not abuse their power. But also, when it comes to procurement, we are talking about a 78 billion rand budget here for the city of Johannesburg. For that to be spent in ensuring that there is service delivery, the oversight process needs to take place, and it can only take place if you've got chairpersons of various committees, and the most powerful position here will be the position of chair of chairs. That position was meant to also have been elected. A person was meant to have been elected last week. It didn't happen. So tomorrow it's expected that they will start by electing the chair of chairs and various chairpersons of different committees for the municipality. But let's take a listen to the member of the Coalition Alliance here explaining why these portfolios and these positions matter so much.
What happens is that your chair positions are very powerful positions. We have seen, for example, now the call to the impact chair by a member of parliament to call the president to come and give account. And similarly, you have the powers of your chairpersons is really far-reaching in terms of oversight, and can have even the mayor summoned before them, as well as heads of department, and ask for reports. So it's a very, very powerful and influential oversight body as such.
Our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge is in Johannesburg.